Hello everyone, my name is Jessica Favela. I am currently working on my master's in aging management services. I currently work in a local laboratory that sends mobile phlebotomists and X-ray technicians to care facilities and hospitals for older patients that cannot go and get these services done on their own. Today we'll be talking about the article, Physicians and Nurse Perceptions of New Inpatient Palliative Care Consultation Project. Implications for Education and Training by Susan Enguidanos, Patricia Hewson, Rebecca Goldstein, Evie Vesper, Janet Allen, and William Burrow. This study was conducted in a local hospital in Los Angeles, where they looked at the thoughts of doctors and nurses when it came to the hospital's new implementation of their new palliative care implementation program. 4 groups were drawn from within the hospital. These groups included 16 doctors and 17 nurses. Interviews were conducted and audio taped, and they were later transcribed into verbatim. The data that was collected was then taken and analyzed to create sub-themes on their thoughts in regards to education and training methods that were trying to be implemented throughout the hospital. I felt that the article was a good start for future research to be done on the topic of inpatient palliative care implementations in hospitals. One of the things I really thought was a positive aspect of the study was that they used doctors and nurses in the sample focus group, not just any hospital staff that knew about the program that was being implemented throughout the hospital. They also chose a hospital that was in a location full of various cultures that allowed for variability within the patients they were treating. However, the study had a few flaws. I personally did not feel that they used a large enough sample for it to be considered life-changing research. The doctors and nurses were not randomized. Family members of the patients that were being treated were not considered for the study either. Another thing that happened was that only one hospital was used. I feel that in order for it to be a good research sample, it not only has to have a large sample of the people being interviewed, it should also include more than just one hospital. For example, maybe they can start off with various hospitals throughout the United States and then later on compare those results to hospitals in other countries. This would allow for the sample not only to be random, but to represent people more effectively. In my opinion, looking at the topic of education and training methods when it comes to how palliative care is implemented into hospitals is very important. One study is not going to be enough to allow us to have a greater understanding on the topic and make it better. It is a new subject for a lot of people, so it may take some effort, but in the long run, people can benefit from such research. I believe that the study should be considered to be redone, be done using different methods to see if we can get more precise results when it comes to analyzing people's thoughts on palliative care implementation throughout hospitals. A larger sample can be used, maybe a questionnaire rather than an interview so that everyone's on the same page about what they are answering. Maybe a larger sample can provide for a better foundation on the study. Some of the questions I came up with in regards to this article are: what are some ways doctors and nurses can use to allow inpatient palliative care consultations not to be so difficult to discuss with their patients? Another one is, how can inpatient palliative care be incorporated to hospitals so families are more aware of the services being offered? Could this possibly make it easier for doctors and nurses to be able to talk to the patient's families when the patients are being considered for palliative care? Thank you for taking the time to listen to my presentation. Goodbye.